It is absolutely outrageous and appalling to think that the FAA would plan such a photo shoot and not warn the public, knowing full well New Yorkers still have the vivid memory of 9/11 sketched in their minds. We are now beginning to hear reports that the FAA told local and city officials, the NYPD and local mayors, but warned them not to warn the public of the jumbo jet flyby. This would make the FAA directly responsible for the public panic that took place this morning. In New York, of all places, not to warn the public that one of the largest jets in the country, tailed by a fighter jet, is going to fly low over their community defies logic and really borders on being either cruel or very, very stupid. To not realize that people would see this flyby in broad daylight and think of 9/11 defies logic and shows that the FAA is completely asleep at the switch. I want to make my message today clear. I am telling the FAA, when anything like this is scheduled, the FAA must notify the public. We cannot allow this to happen again. The events of this morning are completely outrageous. I implore the FAA to re-examine their procedures and see that similar events are not repeated. Ready for your questions.
Senator, I just want to touch on what you said. I mean, this flight was sanctioned by the FAA with a directive given to local authorities to direct all their inquiries to the FAA, not their local departments. How irresponsible was this?
Well, I think it was highly, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I think it was highly irresponsible because, bottom line, here in New York, I think every one of us thinks of 9/11. And if you're going to see large jets flying low over major New York buildings, Statue of Liberty, people are going to panic. And, you know, thank God we don't have any reports of anyone hurt in the panic. But it could have happened that way, too.
Would there have been a larger risk in warning the public and exposing these jets as
I remember when I went to Coney Island as a boy, we knew that the Thunderbirds were going to fly low over the ocean. We looked forward to it. There would be no danger from warning the public. Every danger from not warning the public.
What's the FAA's reason for not warning the public?
The FAA is sort of like a sphinx. They mess up everything and they don't tell you why. The last head of the FAA was a political appointee, a hack, who messed the place up to a fare thee well. We're looking. There is not a new appointment, a new administrator yet, but we're looking for a much, much better one.
Senator, what do you think of how the NYPD handled this? They knew this information, their dispatchers were aware as of 7 this morning. Should they have said something?
Well, the word we are getting, and it has to be confirmed, is that the FAA told the local authorities not to tell the public.
But should they have
Well, that's the answer.
that, or was there...
Well, sure, when the FAA tells them that. This is up to the FAA, and I put the blame on the FAA, not the NYPD. Okay? I'm heading to the airport, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have another New York lawmaker expressing outrage, saying he is furious about what happened because a Boeing 747, a plane used by the President of the United States, that some people that is called Air Force One when the President is on board, of course, did this flyover near Ground Zero, of course, and then you can see it was accompanied by a fighter jet. This actually caused a brief panic among workers in Manhattan. Nobody was notified in advance, but people did not know about this on the ground. It did cause a panic, and we already heard from the New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg today, who said this photo op, that's right, it was a government photo op and a training mission involving this presidential plane, and we heard the New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg said he was so surprised by this, and he's also really angry. Listen.
Just to clarify, you said that you just found out about it when your BlackBerry went off.
That's correct.
And you heard people were evacuating buildings, and what was your reaction?
That I didn't hear until I talked to people, other people. Nobody emailed me they were evacuating. Saying this was a dumb idea was the nicest email I got.
So you sort of heard about this when the public was hearing about it.
That's what I just told you. What part did the reaction not understand? Did not understand?
And, of course, the mayor said he was furious and outraged about it during that press conference. You can see this really spooked a lot of people in New York City. The White House appears to be caught off guard. President Obama's press secretary, Robert Gibbs, said he was unaware of the whole thing.
I have seen some news reports, but I don't know. I have no information on this other than what I saw.
The way this works, I'm just saying appearance-wise, it's odd that you guys don't have a response. I mean, this is the president's aircraft, or what looks like.
I understand. I was working on other things. You might be surprised to know I don't know of every movement of Air Force One or what happens to it, but I will certainly talk to the military office.